Okay, 20 seconds, and basically, yeah, we'll get this going again. Someone tell AL3 X Ninja what the Florins are all about, because I can't. The game's about to start. Here we go. Okay, so welcome back, guys, to the Empire Collective Cup Platinum League between Taito and there we go, and Riot. This is game number 3, which is a restarted game. Taito in the last makeup of this one, he did call to restart. I'm not sure why. I didn't see any villagers dying. I didn't see any awkward boars or any bugged golds or anything like that. So it kind of came out of nowhere, really. I'm not 100% sure what it was about. Maybe someone could give us some ideas. Bendo, not Bendo, please. Snooker Balls seems to think it's because he had a penis-shaped gold pile. Well, maybe some players just have, little bad omens. I know that, some players might like certain things in a map. Like, I know MBL about has an orgasm if he sees that he has a lake on Black Forest. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if some players kind of just feel like instant re in some situations. If anything, though, this map is worse because his boar is behind this wood line. So I think almost going to be regretting this restart and hoping and praying to the gods that Riot here decides to call a re this time, because this is going to be an awkward boar lure. Of course, you can take the ball with his scout anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. Apparently, there was no fish near Taito's island. But I don't know how he could say that, because he didn't actually have a dock out yet, so I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, that boar's in a bit of an awkward position, and of course we've got Taito here on the North Island playing as the Vikings. Down to the south in the grey, we've got Riot playing as the Vikings as well. No surprises there. Riot's starting location is fine by the looks of things. His boar seems to be in okay positions. He could even, it could be interesting actually. He's got a few options here, I think. He could actually, he could dock on the front, but he could go and dock on the side. It looks like he's going to go dock on the front, but if he docked on the side, he could get an extra fishing ship out and play a little bit differently. But obviously this map, being Team Islands, a lot of water to cover, a lot of land, a lot of circumference of your island to cover. And I think in this situation, it's better to just dock on the front and close the gap to your enemy as quickly as possible. So first boar in for Tato there, obviously having to lure it with the scout, but that's nothing unusual anyway. We saw Riot doing the same. Obviously his boar is a little bit later, but he does seem to have more villagers on it, so shouldn't make a difference overall. And the important thing is that he got it in, and he was able to lure that successfully. If you don't manage to get it in, I would suggest that you try again. But if you can't get it in for a second time in a row, then you should probably just leave it, because they're not interested. Oh, either that or you've got some serious problems. But second ball about to come in for Taito now. And of course, we'll see docks up for both of them as well. And this is the thing. The water build order is so set in stone. There's very little variation to it. And it's all about sort of mechanics, the mechanics side of things. And I had that little discussion, or little explanation about why there's water maps in this tournament, and obviously it's because water maps are a big part of AOC, and it tests players' skills in different ways. And in this situation, Taito's fish not as good as Riot's, so maybe a little less food income for Taito on the water there. And Taito could end up with maybe a slower fletching. You could end up with a little more TC idle time. If there's nowhere to put it in, then I suggest you find someone who is the same species as you. Oh, okay. So yeah, Taito is slightly less efficient, but it's not really going to make too much difference with the fishing ships there. Other than that, like, it is neck and neck, obviously. I mean, look at the graphs for a start. The graphs are just identical. It's nearly identical. As Riot clicks up to the fuelage first, he takes a tiny dip in score, and of course Taito here doing Loom and clicking up, but Riot already has Loom. Riot is one step beyond. Loom already done. And he's going to be moving out those villagers to the wood, and he's got a lot of sheep left, which is pretty impressive. Look at that, 5 sheep under the TC. Taito here, only 2 sheep under the TC, with 1 rotting away. sadly about to disintegrate and just kind of be absorbed by the earth, later to turn into coal. And you know, this is kind of cool. Obviously, all these animals rotting away. Nowadays, these guys are starting to turn into oil and coal. Maybe not in the no chance, not in 1,000 years. It takes more than 1,000 years to make coal. I'm pretty sure of that. But eventually, these guys will become coal. Maybe in Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, they're actually mining resources that once were the boar and the sheep of the Age of Empires lands. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to kill time until things start getting interesting. 4 ships out for both of them. And second dock up for Riet. Third dock coming up a little sooner for Tato here, actually, but a slightly slower feudal time. This feudal time actually quite a ways different. And if you have a look at this, 40%, 45% there on Riet's galley as Tato hits feudal. And so I think Riet could actually start harassing these fishing ships before... I don't know, I get a feeling that he could actually start hitting these fishing ships before Tato manages to get out galley. If he can start pushing these back, that'd be great. By the way, I know nothing about Star Wars. Nothing at all. Apparently it was in the past. Well, the more you know. That's, I learned something new today. I've got no idea. All I know is that there's spaceships and things, and to me that is future. I'm so ignorant and so naive, but you have to forgive me because I'm just not really into sci-fi, to be honest with you. Anyway, Riet here. Two galleys versus 3. But of course, Riet will get his next volley, his next group out first. So Tato's going to be pushed away. 1 fishing ship down a piece, keeping it cool, keeping it level, and keeping it real. Tato here about to get out another round as Riet pushes back to try and find some more fish. Be a little bit of a back and forth on the water here. I can see it already. And Tato gonna get caught out, it seems. And it's all down to the micro. Now, the question is, who has the better micro? What do you guys think? Do you think Tato or Riet? I think Riet has the better micro here. Not just in this situation, but in the game in general. And there you go, just a trade there as Tato heads off these ships. He's going to find all of the fishing ships today. Loving that. Loving that. And actually, whoa. Riet getting away with 1 alive. But Tato losing all of his. But either way, it's like, well, if you can't fish, then nobody can. Almost very selfish way to look at it, but it's all about killing the fish, I guess, at the early feudal age in this kind of situation. And they've both done a good job of it. Riet so far with 1 left, and I think Tato maybe going to look to swoop in and just finish that off where he can. And Riet's going to see these guys anyway. He's going to have a very good idea where they're at. But Tato falling behind in military a little bit. Well, I say that as he immediately catches up, because he's actually putting these galleys inside the docks, leaving these guys a little bit exposed, a little bit weak, and maybe trying to bait Riet away. Maybe trying to bring him out to the left side so that these guys can just come out and kill that final ship. But, you know, 1 fishing ship, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference overall. But obviously, if you can take it away from your opponent, why not? Now, at the moment, back at home, Riet still has more sheep. He's still got 2 sheep left. He's got 6 villagers on that sheep there, bringing in plenty of food so he can keep villagers coming out. Tato actually forced onto farms already. He's got his berries coming in as well, as has Riet. But Riet, a little bit more food under the TC, natural food for him to take. And that means that he should be ahead in food income. Riet already doing fletching. Tato here barely keeping villager production going. Jumping out the docks at a very bad time there. Tato gonna be grouping up his galleys, but losing a couple as they came out, meaning that Riet now is 2 galleys ahead, and Riet now has fletching as well, which is pretty huge. And as a result, Tato here, I think he's gonna have to do something different. He's got to bring this back on the water, but no fletching for him. No real sign of even getting a blacksmith out at the moment. There's just not enough wood there. And again, having to seed those farms, that extra 60, 120, 240 wood could have been a blacksmith, but instead it's not. And instead, Riet's got this big advantage. Riet is looking strong on this water map, and this dock's gonna go down, which at this stage of the game is pretty devastating. It's gonna be 3 docks versus 4 for Riet. Sorry, for Tato there. it's going to be a problem. Now, Tato could come in behind. Maybe he could kill this last ship, but he's going to have to do a lot more than that, I think, if he wants to pull this one back. He's 5 military behind already, and water is not easy, man. Alright, so going to see a dock out on this left side. And I think Tato here going to want to get to the Castle Age before he really does much else. And you see that now. Seeding these farms. He realizes, yeah, he's got to get more farms out. He's got to get more food in. He needs to get to the Castle Age in a good time. And this guy out here on the left side is probably going to be building something that is not a galley. Because I think this landing has to happen. So there you go, transport ship now. And Riot should be well aware of this. Like, he's at this point, once he's killed one dock, and he gets away with killing a second dock, Riot knows at this point that a landing has to be on the way. There's no other possible play that Tato could make at the moment. So for Riot, it would be wise at this point to spread out, pardon me, build outposts like he is doing, and get visibility around the shoreline. He's patrolling with his scout across the back of the map, which is actually pretty clear, so nice and easy for him to see what's going on there. And literally just building outposts around the place to keep an eye out on the water and see what's going on. Maybe Town Watch will come in very soon. I don't know if he's got Town Watch already, actually. But yeah, Tato coming in, going to destroy the outpost there. Just be a nuisance. 10 stone, sorry, down the drain. But to get a landing out here, it's going to be risky and going to be tough. And Riot's going to be prepared as well, with the barracks coming up now also. Riot will be spreading out soon as well, looking to find these any extra docks, find any transports or anything like that. As it stands, Tato's looking for the Castle Age, and quite rightly so as well. I think if you're going to do a landing, you've got to land crossbows at the very least. I'm wondering where the transport ship actually got to. At the moment, I don't see it. I don't see it. So maybe Riot actually caught the transport out, which would be surprising, actually. It would be surprising, because if you look at the villager count, they're both on the same, so pretty much, well, Tato's behind by 2. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. It got lost. I don't know. I don't know how I couldn't see that. So he didn't kill the transport, my bad. Tato will get this landing across at the back, but Riot's scout is right there. Right there. Is he going to see it? Yes, he is. Down goes the scout, you'd think. But the cover is blown. The element of surprise is gone. It is no longer there. Riot knows what side Tato's on. He knows that there's a landing coming his way. And he's going to be prepared. He's going to be ready for it. Archery range coming up. He's already got one out. He's doing archers now. And a Castle Age upgrade on the way in as well. So at this stage of the game, I really feel like Tato is not going to be able to pull this one back. The only way he could start to pull this back is if he retakes the water now. I mean, he's going to go ahead and try this landing anyway. And actually, if he does knights quite quickly here, which he looks like he will do, if he does a couple of knights, that could catch Riot out, but yeah, I feel like he has to win the water back in some way. He could have done War Galley, actually. He could still do it. And maybe taken advantage on the water. But obviously, at the moment, the priority is going to be on this landing. Knight coming out. And TC, that's so cheeky. That is so cheeky. He didn't delete the archery ranges to fool the opponent, Tilbada guy. He actually deleted one because he meant to build a stable, and he built 2 ranges instead. The knight is actually a clever choice because Riot making a few archers here. Knight's actually going to be really strong against this. And I know they're only Viking knights, but unless these archers are in good numbers, or unless they are able to get the upgrade to crossbow and +2 attack, the knight probably going to have a few kills under his belt before he gets taken out, making it quite easy for Tato to push forwards here. He's also going to have knights to protect him from any siege that could be coming his way as well. Riot here, actually letting a few villagers idle on this left side, a little bit messy, sending them now to work, and that knight just chasing down the archers, getting so many kills. That was a perfect play by him. Really good call to do that. Finally losing the knight after killing about 6 or 7 archers, which was fantastic. On the water though, Yeah, it's all over for Tato here. I mean, he could have fought here, actually. I feel like he could have probably maybe won that fight, since he... No, actually, he doesn't have Bodkin arrows. Never mind, he wouldn't have won that fight, but still. I feel like at some point in this game, he may need to try and retake the water, but for now, like I say, his priority of focus is really on this landing, to the point where he's even built a TC on his opponent's island. I mean, come on, you don't see that every day. So, Siege Workshop out, and Riot here with Knights as well, and of course he's going to be prepared for these Mangonels, which are so anticipated as well. We're going to need to see a bit more military from Tato here, and this is the problem now. So, why do players take the water? Why do players want to win the water? Well, the reason they want to win the water is because there's benefits to having the water. First of all, you can land your opponent, you get map control, but secondly, you also get fishing. And you see Riot now has replenished these fish. He's got 5 new fishing ships out, as well as that one that he had earlier on. So 5 new ships. That's huge. He's going to get a big food boost. And if you compare that to what Taito, I keep doing it now. I keep messing it up. But if you compare that to what Tato's going to have, Tato here is not going to have anywhere near the food income. Now, Riot cleverly moving these guys out the way. He knows he's chasing Tato down. Once he's cleared him up, he doesn't have to worry. Meanwhile, on the mainland, Monk coming in, easily getting taken out by those crossbow. The Mangonel gonna miss, and oh my god, that was a terrible, terrible trade. 2 Mangonels and a Monk down for absolutely nothing in return. Maybe 1 knight and a single crossbow. Terrible, terrible trade for Tato. Horrible fight, and well microed by Riot there, and he's finally taken all these galleys down nearly, just with the 3 left on very low health, and Riot can go back to fishing in peace. And that's the very, very big strength for him now, because all that extra food means not only can he make military, but he can boom up his eco at the same time. And Tato on 2 stables, making double knights, that's going to be really tough. Really tough. He's lost this Siege Workshop on the front. He may lose this monastery as well, though he will make another monk at the back. It would be nice if he could convert siege here. That would be very strong for him. But Tato is in a little bit of trouble at the moment. And although this landing was nice, he got caught out. He got very, very caught out of position, and that's cost him big time. So another monastery coming up. And it looks like he's pretty committed to making these monks here, which is an interesting choice, considering there's not too many knights out for Riot here. Riot is doing another stable, though, so monks will prove to be a good choice in time. Little does Tato know. Upgrade-wise, Tato's got the advantage here, on the knights at least, but he is not opting to make any archer units. I think that's a good idea. Might be worthwhile to maybe add some skirms in later on. Maybe, but... probably not. I mean, there's quite a bit of siege here from Riot, and there's actually knights as well, so skirms possibly not the best choice at all, in fact. Crossbows, I don't know if he's not done the upgrade, it might just not be worth it to him, and maybe he just values knights more here. And I think that's okay. If he gets +2 defense here, which he is doing, that should be enough to perhaps deal with this army with the number of knights he has. If he gets a couple of conversions on top of that, then I think Tato can really quickly turn this around. Maybe if he times this Mangonel out of the Siege Workshop well as well, that could be good. In fact, this is actually really good, because if he puts the Mangonel out here, he can actually hit the crossbows and actually be completely safe. I think he needs to make that play. I think he needs to drop out the Mangonels and go for it. Alright, so there you go. Mangonel's going to bait these knights forward. He will get a few conversions. Good micro there. 2 knights, 3 knights converted. Fantastic conversions. He's bringing out more from these stables as well. 4 knights converted. Awesome, awesome stuff. The power of monks, everybody. And now, of course, pushing forwards on the front there. Cleaning up the rams at the back. Great trades for Tato this time around. And he's going to be chasing these crossbows down as well. Riot in response, putting up a monastery. But it's a little bit late, because these knights have got momentum now, pushing this army all the way back home. Well played by Tato, and at the back of the map, it looks like he's about ready to make his move on the water again, which is the play to make. This is the ultimate play to make. Get back on the water, get back to where you once belonged. Of course, monks can go heal up as well. Some of these knights very low on health. Extra health is going to be valuable, and Tato there on the hill, the castle. Fantastic, perfect position, in fact, on that castle. It covers the main gold of Riot. It will push this castle down. That's a great play, and oh my goodness me. Tato making the very best of a very bad situation here. Riot doing pikemen. And in the face of a castle, pikemen are not going to be a good choice. Unfortunately for Tato, though, losing a bunch of those monks there as these crossbow come in, the mangonel support was not there this time around. And it looks like this castle is feeling the heat as the villagers go down. But it looks like in this situation, Tato should be able to defend with the knights. He's bringing more villagers over. And in actual fact, Tato has the villager advantage here. Even after losing all these villagers on this castle, the castle will complete. And he still has so many knights. This is awesome play from Tato. Now, obviously, these pikes are going to make it awkward for him to push down. But with a mangonel on the hill, this TC is toast. And Tato here in this situation is looking strong, to say the least. On the water, he is starting to make a comeback now. At the moment, we see only galleys from Riot. And if Tato can re-win the water, I feel like he's going to have done enough eco damage here to make it work out. If he can kill these fishing ships at the very least. Riot, maybe a counter landing coming in, or at least attempting that at one point, but deciding not to after he saw the might of Tato pushing in on the front side. Tato is so good. You're right, New Kirill. He's doing great. Being chased down by the pikes, no problem. If you're a knight, you can run away. Maybe, you know, husbandry would be a good idea in this situation, I feel. But still, if he baits these guys back to the castle, yeah, they're toast. Tato now doing archer as well, and actually switching into doing crossbows, I believe, very soon. The problem for Tato is the lack of food here, and for Riot, it's rather the opposite. He's got lots of food, but no gold. And, I mean, he's taking gold. Ballsily taking gold. And it's kind of funny because this castle is so perfect. It covers both of these gold piles. And if Tato is able to deny all the gold, that's huge. Riot at the moment taking some stone. Maybe he'll end up selling that. To get to the Imperial Age now, he has to sell. Unless he can protect this gold pile, which he's trying. And in fact, that's going to be a ram rush. This is going to be actually awesome. As long as Tato can protect this mangonel, I think the ram rush might be stopped. And actually, on top of that, you've got to time this ram rush with the pikes. Because if the rams come in, the knights will kill it. So the pikes here are going to be coming in as well to support this. But you've got to bear in mind, bodkin arrow for Tato now. More crossbows, more mangonels. I don't see how this aggression from Riot will be able to bring this castle down. It will be tough. He's keeping this castle up, TC up though. And at the back of the map, Tato taking his time. And he's not really got the food at the moment for all the upgrades he'd like. But once he's got the food, he should be looking for War Galley. There it is, actually. There it is. So War Galley is coming in right now, and he's making that move. So ballistics as well. Awesome stuff. Chain mail armor for Riot. Interesting choice. Obviously, +2 on these pikes. Gonna really help things out. Out come the rams from this workshop, surprisingly. They all fit inside that building. And the mangonel from behind, of course, gonna be battering on those battering rams with this with these mangonel shots. These pikes so weak under the castle fire, but sitting under the castle is good because they don't take damage from under the castle. If they're out to the side, yeah, they get obliterated. And it looks like this ram rush will be a failure. I don't see how this is gonna work out. Tato's knights just holding on just long enough to kill a couple of rams, but no. Tato losing out at the last second as Riot gets a conversion on the knight on the right-hand side, and the pikes keep pushing forwards to get a victory there, and the castle will go down. Awesome play by Riot. Clutch situation for him, and getting that castle down with very, very, very close health on these rams. So castle going up in its place. Riot's like, right, I'm putting a castle here now, and you can be gone. Riot pushed back with a fantastic play. But Tato back on the water now, removing the fishing from Riot. And Tato has a huge advantage in villagers now. He's got 15 extra villagers on the water. And he's got a superior navy all of a sudden, killing a lot of fishing ships, taking them out, and removing that advantage from Riot altogether. So this is great. It's like, it's almost as if Riot just converted the castle there. It's almost like he converted the castle. I can't believe he kept that TC up. I can't believe he protected this gold. That was an insane play from him. The problem is now, Riot has been relying on fishing ships a lot. He's been fishing heavily on the water. And as a result, he's not put too many farms up. So he's not farming as much as he'd like right now. And his food income is not quite all there. Tato, meanwhile, he could start fishing at the back. but he just wants to win the water conclusively. That's the one for him. Water on the left side is going to be protected by this castle as well. And I think Tato's probably going to have to resign himself to the fact that he is going to lose this forward. But in my opinion, it worked well. Because now, if you look at this situation now, Riot here actually has more gold piles. If you have a look at the map, Riot has more gold piles on his island. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 gold piles. Whereas Tato only has the 2. Granted, they're big ones. Wait, 3. So Tato is 2 gold piles less. But Tato has mined the gold of Tato. I mean, of Riot. So Riot here, even if he pushes this back, Tato's already gone and nabbed half his gold. So in the long run, Tato's going to have more gold in the coffers. And you can see it building up. He's got a lot of gold there. And he's just going to keep taking it. You may as well. He's done so much eco damage over here as well. This is awesome. Tato now up to Imperial. Riot up to Imperial. Both these guys pretty close. Tato here with 50%. Riot on 30%. So there's 20% in it. And Riot looking like he wants to retake the water with the War Galley upgrade coming up at the moment as well. But yeah, castle here on the right side. Going to be building his docks around that. And Tato here, a lot of crossbows around as well. Looking to either hold this aggression off. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, Riot with all these pikes, there's no way he is going to attack this. Not with pikes. So, yeah, I mean, Riot's basically tried to wall off. I think Tato could come around the top side and try and hit over here. That could work well. He's got a lot of crossbows. Or either that, or he could transport around these walls. And just go for a transport around and go back here. Either way, castle coming up for Riot. I mean, Tato. Out of sight. Gonna be well out of sight, and if he is able to get out a Treb and protect this castle and protect the Treb, he could actually bring down this castle from Riot as well, because I think Tato realizes how much the gold is going to be a big impact on this game. So Imperial Age for Tato now. Galleon, of course, that's the first thing he's going to do, because water control is going to be really important from here on out. You don't want cannon galleons causing troubles. Riot getting ballistics quite late. Tato getting Bracer now as well. So maybe we'll see Arbalest, but I don't think that's really a priority now. Priority is Trebs, obviously, and bringing out more archery ranges as well. So maybe we will see Arbalest in good time, but at the moment he can't quite afford it unless he's queued it up already, which he has not. So there you go. Meanwhile, these pikes are basically going from bad to useless. They're really becoming less and less useful as the game goes on. Meanwhile, Tato here on the right side, finding out this stony cove as Tato retreats towards his docks and the safety of that castle there. Galleon chemistry coming in, Bracer as well. And Riot here going to get the advantage on these galleons. He's actually got ship armor as well. So Tato's getting chemistry, but no ship armor, which means it's going to be 8+4 with 8+1 defense versus Tato's 8+3 and 8 defense. So obviously the stats there definitely in favor of Riot on the water. Riot still keeping the score lead, but only just. Tato here starting to take that score lead back, I feel, and the quick wall off here was really well called as those Rams try and come closer, and Knights probably try and get involved as well. I'm liking this. I feel like Tato dock transport, and that could do a lot of damage, but we'll see. On the water then, let's see. Tato here with 45 warships, Riot with 29, so that's an extra 16 warships on the water. Really very dominant at the moment, taking out these forward docks and actually killing the villagers on the wood, because if you look at the situation for Riot right now, he doesn't have many options when it comes to taking wood. Villagers going down on the left side. Now he's getting Arbalest, and this is awesome. If maybe even a ram to get through here would be good. But at the moment, Riot with this hill advantage, going to be bringing down these Trebs. There's not a lot Tato can do about that at the moment. It's going to be a tough fight to take, and he seems to be attacking the castle anyway, rather than the trebuchets. Losing both of those guys there, pretty messy, and a massive, massive waste of resources. But Tato still nabbing off with all this gold. There's going to be none left by the time Riot manages to claim his island back. At which point, Tato will have won the game anyway, because he'll have more gold and he can win the water. So, really awesome stuff from Tato here. It's a shame he's not repairing these Trebs, like you say in the chat. They are going to go down at this rate. He is trying to get the repairs in, I think. And actually, oh my god, this is huge. Riot having to buy stone to keep this castle alive. Oh my god. Do you think Tato realizes? Tato must know. Tato has to know. 2 more shots. The Trebs are going to fire. I think this could be... Castle is so close. Oh my Jesus Christ. This castle is about to go down. Riot here buying stone to keep this alive. But with another Treb down for Riot here, I mean Tato here, it looks like this Treb will be lost. But this is the thing, if that castle goes down, that's it. That is it. And oh my god, it looks like he's gonna get, no, another 100 stone purchase. Riot is throwing all of his stone, all of his gold into this. It's huge. Meanwhile though, Tato on the water, winning out pretty well. And if you think about it, he lost, what, 4 or 5 Trebs there. Certainly worth paying the gold to repair the castle versus the 200 gold for each Treb that was lost. But if Tato pulled that castle down, that would be huge, because there would be no more castle for Riot here on the front, and he would be able to overwhelm this with his Arbalest. At the moment, he can't, because the castle is causing too much trouble. He could go for Siege Ram, though. He could do that. Anyway. Water still looking strong. 101 villas for Tato, 89 for Riot, 85 military for Tato, 48 for Riot, and Riot's still sitting here with a bunch of pikes as well. This landing has been a critical success, I suppose you could say. Tato here is still trying to repair this castle, or want to repair this castle. Not quite enough stone though, with 2 Trebs here on even ground. That's going to be a gone castle very, very soon. He'll try and maybe take it down with the Arbs, but won't succeed in much there, I feel. So, awesome stuff. And battering rams now coming out. Wait for capped ram to come in here. Why on earth did that knight die? I have no idea. That knight, maybe it was the TC actually. Alright, there you go. So, Tato making his play now. Here, he's bringing the Arbs in to try and protect these rams. Not doing a very good job of it, but he will get a bunch of kills here. That's for sure. Taking the monk down, gonna get as many kills as he can. I'm gonna use the rams to try and kill these Trebs, but there's too many pikes at the moment. Of course, they're gonna go down very quickly, but for the time being, pretty overwhelming it seems. And I think Tato needs capped ram now, and he needs to go for the castle here. Either way, at the moment though, as I say earlier, he's winning the water really conclusively. Tato nearly at 200 pop here as Riot sits on 125. And this is the thing. While he's got this water control, while he's winning the water, I think he needs to shift focus to just take this. 100% take this land. And he'll be fine. Still taking the gold on this left side, which I just find comical. Yeah, Riot's gold situation is not good at the moment. He's got 38 gold. 38. And he's got 2 gold mines left until he has to come out here and secure this gold. But he's not going to do that right now, is he? Riot cannot secure this gold. So that's huge. And this is a great game from Tato. Absolutely awesome game. Killing villagers in this wood line with his 7+3 range. Capped ram finally coming in. It's about time, dude. But he got there in the end. And once capped ram is done, I just imagine Tato's going to push forwards here and win. That's what I think. Anyway, to see him winning, I just find it funny how this gold's now all gone. Now he's going to move for this one here. Could lose a few villagers though, but these villagers have got more than their value's worth. Tato's like, yeah, kill some villagers, make room for more military. Cheers. Alright, so capped ram's in. And Tato here doesn't have much food income, so I get the feeling he won't go for Siege Ram. He won't wait it out. So there you go, he's making his move now. This is going to be huge. There's no defenses here. No defenses, really. The Arbalest are going to be more than enough support. And Riot walling up his castle with stone walls. What are we going to see next? Fortified wall? Maybe. Maybe. Arbalest need to come closer, though. They're not doing anything at all to help these rams out. The rams should get the Trebs. Both Trebs will fall. And the rams circling around this castle. But, yeah. Arbalest going to kill the villas on this gold. And while Riot has no gold income now, this is this... well, horrible for him. A dire situation, indeed. Mangonel, though, can still do a lot of damage here, and I think this castle may stay up at this rate. But, yeah, Tato killing a lot of villas out here, and looking solid. I'm surprised he didn't send more Arbalest forward, though. Seems like a very wasteful maneuver. But more, I guess, coming on the way. More capped rams on the way. And Tato's base, all is dandy and just fine. I guess he's out of gold, though. There's a little bit of gold here. So, both players going to be hard-pressed to get gold now. But Tato's definitely had the lion's share, that's for sure. Castle, still staying up. And Tato here, I mean, Riot here, really going to be spamming the trash. But I think the problem comes now when it comes to, like, well, how is he going to keep the wood income? How is he going to secure gold income? All of these things, they're all problems that he just doesn't have answers to at the moment. He's lost a lot of villagers out here as well. And he could lose more on the front if Tato clears up these galleons. Looking at the numbers, 48 warships to 49. The warship count is actually very, very similar here. And that's obviously, I think, in part because of the +1 ship armor for Riot. So Riot should win this fight on the front here. No doubt about it. Riot will win that fight. And that's a potential comeback for him in this game, as winning the water will help him to protect these villagers, this stone here, and maybe even allow him to take this gold at the back as well, which Tato is fiercely defending. But yeah, Tato's lost that fight on the front. The siege ram is on the way. He doesn't mess around, does he? The siege ram's coming up, and once that castle, I keep saying this, once that castle goes down, it's gonna be over. But he's kept this castle up for so long, and you're right, Johnny LY. Tato does seem a little weaker in Imperial. He does have this huge advantage, not only in villagers, in military, and everything, but he does seemingly waste a lot of resources. Maybe, I think, just not protecting his siege, one of the biggest problems here on the right side. He's got so much wood, though. I'm starting to think maybe he could sell some more resources. And if you look at the market, I think Tato made a mistake here. He could have sold some wood earlier. You could have even sold some food earlier to have a bit more gold here. And if you have a look, Tato sold all of his stone, whereas Riot has just sold food and wood here, which is arguably a lot better. So Riot with another castle out on the front, and we do have more siege rams now. Of course, very tanky in the face of the castles, but he's going to need to launch quite a big attack. Again, I don't understand this. He's Arbalest here. He can just come around this right side and kill so many villagers. Nothing to stop him. But I think he's focusing on the water more now again. And probably quite rightly so. He's got 101 military versus Riot's 32. It is surely GG now. He's supporting the rams a little more as well. All of these villagers running towards the castles to make them as potent as possible, but I don't think it's enough. I get the feeling that this castle will go down on the left. I might be wrong, actually, since there are still mangonels here. Wow. Okay, Tato's just going to throw everything he's got underneath this castle here. I said about protecting the siege. I didn't quite mean like this. The 3 mangonels at the back actually doing enough damage to really slow these rams down, and obviously repairs coming in now as well. But Tato's just thrown away everything. He's thrown away the works. All of these units just going down. This final ram gonna take a beating as well. And it looks like those castles might just stand up. The 2 castles on the hill there. Looking great. On the water though, Tato's still taking this big advantage here. And I can't believe the castles are staying up. Obviously he's still taking stone, or he was on this right side, so he's good right there. I can't believe that. So many rams down, and he's just if I was Tato right now, I'd just be thinking to myself, how is this possible? How am I fucking this up so hard time after time? But yeah, Tato needs a treb, like you say in the chat. He needs a treb. Because, I mean, I don't think that Riot could get to him with a if Tato had a treb now. Not with rams out front and Arbalest, but yeah. He has no castle because he sold all of his stone earlier on. Maybe a mistake to do that. Maybe a big mistake, but finally collecting up the relics. Anyway, Tato here, 3 relics. So I guess you could argue that whilst he didn't have as much gold on his side of the map, he does have 4 relics versus Riot's 1. Riot does not have a single relic in at the moment. And in fact, there it is. So if Tato goes and builds a monastery on this left side of the map, he could even get another relic and actually claim all 5, which would be huge. Still, Galleon's really locking down this area of the map, and I think almost like a war of attrition at the moment here. As Riot, look at this, has so many idle villagers blocking and bumping on this wood line. He can't take the wood on the top. There's no more wood left in the back, or there is, but they'll die to the galleons back here. Riot now doing siege ram, but not before Tato gets ready with another group of units ready to try and push these castles down. Riot still has 200 stone though, so he could still find himself in a situation where, yeah, he can make it work out. But that's a lot of relics for Tato there. A lot of relics. 4 versus 0. And at this stage of the game, those relics are going to have a big impact. You can count on that. Berserks would also be a good choice right now, but too expensive for Riot, who has basically no resources. Very little food, very little wood, very little gold even. And in fact, very little villagers in comparison to Tato as well. Still, Watchtower coming up here, and I think Riot really wants that gold. He sees it there. He would really like it. Tato was towering it up with Watchtowers at 1 hour and 9 minutes in game time. You can't explain that. I don't think anyone can explain that one. Really weird. Villager's going to die though. I don't think that tower will complete. That's a lot of skirms from Riot there. But he's still outnumbered 2 to 1 on military. Bear in mind that Tato's military is mostly galleons, and going to have a few kills on the skirms. But I think Tato waiting for maybe even 200 population here. Biding his time, getting a light cavalry out, getting as many upgrades as possible. Hoardings coming. Why hoardings? Like, what? Why is he doing hoardings? Oh, he's got guard tower as well. Okay, right. Interesting. He upgraded his towers. I actually didn't expect that at all. But maybe looking to finish this tower off, maybe, at some point. He still has villagers coming out, so yeah, he's going to finish that off and just try and lock that gold down effectively. Okay, so kind of a stalemate at the moment. These guys, both of them unwilling to really go for it. But I really feel like, yeah, transport a trebuchet, that could be huge. Tato can afford it as well. With those relics, he can do it. But yeah, he was waiting for population block here. He was waiting for 200. This has to be the push. The light cavalry on the right side gonna come in and aim for those mangonels. That's their priority. There's no pikemen here now. And underneath these castles, the skirms will sit. A lot of units are gonna go down. But the faster these castles fall, the faster Tato can take the hill and take the win. 1 castle down. This castle will fall. There's no question about it. No repairs coming in. Lots of rams around the base. Down it goes. And Tato's got the hill now. He can push up. He can soak up the arrow fire with these rams. He can fire in from behind with the skirms, and these light cavalry gonna get a bunch of kills as well. It's GG from Riot, or just a single G, as he maybe is a little salty at that loss. Too much sea air causing the salt to get to unregulated levels in Riot's bloodstream. But yes, well played to Tato. Great game from him. Unexpected win considering he lost the water so early on. But a fantastic landing, even after being scouted out. He played some very good positions. Riot there, pushing back many times, miraculously saving this TC. Awesome stuff. But honestly, yeah, Tato took a while to win that game, and he did get all 5 relics in the end as well. But honestly, that was a sick game from Tato. He did a great job, and Riot was really struggling at the end there. And basically a war of attrition. He just couldn't get the resources in. Awesome stuff. G to the G. Says Wallow GG's in the chat. But yeah, guys, we are going to get into 4th game in just a minute. A big thank you as well to Search Engine Revs for supporting this event by sponsoring $1,000 to the prize pool. Awesome stuff. And obviously, without them, the prize pool wouldn't be so large. And without them, we wouldn't have these great players playing for us today, probably. They're a search engine optimization company based in Canada. And all the information about them is below the stream. So go check them out and see what they can do for you. Anyway, we are going to go ahead now and get